I've never had a time in my professional life where Americans have been more concerned about their own self-protection.
You know, the hard truth about violence is that as we describe it, violence works on everybody. And you've heard me say in the past, listen, the tool of violence is only good if you're the one using the tool of violence, meaning it can just as easily be used successfully on me. So I wanted to give a quick video today of a highlight of that, where you see somebody who does a really, really good job using violence on people. And then he has something happen. So it's just a stark reality. It's a quick video. We'll go over it, but it just kind of highlights the point that I'm talking about. Oftentimes we see people that are very good or look very intimidating with violence, and we don't realize that, hey, they're just as susceptible as anybody else. Okay, so this happened in Wales. It's an older tape. I left the audio in it, even though it's kind of cheesy, but it'll give you a little background on what's going on. I might stop it once or twice.
The critics are most troubled by this video, taped in a park in Wales. A teenager wades into this peaceful group and starts acting like Mike Tyson. There's no apparent explanation for what triggers the outburst. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. A bearded Good Samaritan tries to calm him down, and he gets belted.
So far what we've seen, this kid's just gone, he's striking everybody. When you look at the strikes themselves, for the most part, other than the kick on the ground, most of these are just static strikes. And I would say they're antisocial in nature. What do I mean by that? They're hitting to the face. They're basically trying to get people to walk away, it's usually when people hit to the face, oftentimes in the head hunting, it's like, hey, just shut up. They want to control the area. It's not that they're necessarily trying to injure. It's kind of a byproduct. Now you're going to see he's going to finish off with he's very lucky he didn't do more damage with this particular strike that's coming up next.
2. And finally, the worst cheap shot of all. And then he just walks away. Unbelievable. Slugger here is...
Okay, so you just saw him go through a group of kids that are in there. They're older teenagers, and they're in there, and he's really doled out some punishment, particularly on one guy. We don't know what the subject is, why it happened, who cares? But we saw, and he feels very confident, and he's walking away now. Okay, and so here's this guy who just has literally been laying out multiple people, and let's see what happens.
Apparently gotten away with it, but not so fast, buddy. Unknown to Slugger, this ex-boxer watched the attacks from across the street and decided he'd give Slugger a little taste of his own medicine.
Boom. Look at that. Nice body weight transfer, rotated right into the strike, hit something vulnerable. This guy's really lucky that this kid didn't, really brain himself more than he did. I slowed it right here because I want you to watch the impact on his skull when he hits.
Disturbing footage.
Yeah, very, very lucky. So listen, this video, as you guys know, all of this is avoidable. All of this is stupid. When you've got an idiot like this, you try to get away from him. And then what the guy did after, what the man did just now, the ex-boxer supposedly, who laid into the kid, again, that's, really wasn't necessarily justified in that. That kid wasn't threatening him in any way, shape, or form. It was in Wales, and it's caught on CCTV. So I'm sure there's going to be aftermath after that happened. That said, I just want to show you it's crystal clear. You see a predator using violence, boom, 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 going through people. People are scared. They're going back. He doles it out. He walks away, and then somebody else who doesn't buy the game looks for an opportunity, and then guess what? They hit something important on them, and what do? They go down just like everybody else. They have to deal with the trauma. So that, again, is the reason that you should be studying anatomy, and you want to make sure that when you put your hands on somebody that when you're devoid of choice and you are facing imminent grievous bodily harm, you want to make sure what you do is effective. And that's why you want to study anatomy and where on the human body to put your efforts. Okay. You saw how effective this guy was on that strike. The other strikes for the most part were fairly ineffective when you're evaluating them. So anyways, as I always say, violence is only good if you're the one using the tool, because it works just as good on us. That's what we have to accept. That's the 50-50. You know, in any violent encounter, you know, I need to be the one getting the first injury. It doesn't mean I'm always striking first. Doesn't mean I'm always hitting the person first. I mean, you can get hit in a non-specific area and you can recover from that. If you can think and move, the first thing that needs to hop out of you is an injury on the other guy. All right. Until next time, stay safe.